आमर स्वतंत्र उपस्थापना बजेट 2020 सीधासल नहीं चलुछु केंद्र अर्थमंत्री निर्मला सीतारमण को प्रेस मीट को
Revenue Secretary to tell you which are those exemptions which are part of the new scheme now. With the reduced rate and with those few exemptions, what will be the benefit that anyone can get will be obvious from his answer. Revenue Secretary.
We took a very comprehensive review of all exemptions, and what we found that there are close to 120 exemptions, all different kinds of exemptions. For example, the amount received by a member of a Hindu united family from the income of family state, share of a Hindu undivided family from an income of family state, share of profit received by a partner, interest on certain notified securities, interest on masala bonds, income of foreign diplomats, income of employee, consultant and family members under technical assistance program, death cum retirement gratuity. So this way there was a huge list. And so we took a review of each item, and then we found that in this new regime, as has been explained by the finance minister, that the whole idea was to offer a simplified regime and also lower the tax rate, because there were large number of people who, because of cash constraints, the amount of the income that they were having, they were not able to take all benefits, and some people were able to take a larger number of exemptions and deductions. So in order to offer a simplified system and also to help those who are not taking an exemption, offer a lower tax rate, this system has been introduced. That now the total number of exemptions which have been removed from the new system is about 70. So in fact, I will give you some example that which one have been removed and which one have been retained. So particularly the important ones which have been retained in the new system would be like the retirement benefits, for example. Death cum retirement gratuity for government employee, no limit. For others up to 20 lakh, it was already there, they will be retained. Commutation of pensions will be retained. Then the leave encashment on retirement, that will be retained. Retrenchment compensation will be retained. Amount received on VRS up to 5 lakh, that will be retained. Similarly, the EPFO, the employer contribution up to a certain limit, whatever limit that is there now, that will be retained. Payment received from NPS, National Pension Scheme on closure, partial withdrawal from NPS, they all will be retained. A scholarship granted to meet the cost of education, that will be retained. Then payment of awards instituted in public interest, that will be retained. So similarly, so these are the things which will be retained. Then and then there are 70 exemptions, as I mentioned.
You can probably put it all in the net.
Yeah.
Yes, so I will put it on.
So that will be clearer for you.
Yes.
Okay, we take next question, 13. Ma'am, just you will get the details. Question number.
Timsy, when there's more money in your hand and you, the person who has it, will be better in a position to decide where you want to save instead of me directing it. So I'm allowing you to have more money in your hand and depend on your judgment where you want to place your savings.
मैम दिस इज़ मोनिका फ्रॉम जी बिजनेस. मैम मेरा सवाल है कि आपने कहा कि पार्शियल क्रेडिट गारंटी स्कीम में रिवीजन करने की ज़रूरत है. आपने हाल ही में कुछ रिलैक्सेशंस अनाउंस करे थे, तो अब हम क्या स्पेसिफिक मेजर्स उसमें एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं? और दूसरा ये कि रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर जो वन ऑफ द टॉप एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेटर्स है, उसके लिए आपने कुछ भी अनाउंस नहीं करा, बल्कि उन्हें बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सपेक्टेशन थी कि एटलीस्ट एक वन टाइम लोन रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग स्कीम जो है की घोषणा हो जाएगी. तो क्या कारण रहा उसके पीछे?
नहीं, actually for the real estate we had announced some things even earlier. We had announced that stalled projects which need to be completed will be given the last mile funding so that that project can be completed. Home buyers will be getting the project. That is already ongoing. Now, in this also, we have extended the date by 1 year, so that if it's affordable housing, the exemption which the home buyer has is available for them. And the tax holiday for the real estate people, promoters, is also extended by 1 more year. So actually, they can now seek the buyer and benefit from it once the transaction gets over. So we've actually given something much more than what was announced even before the budget for the real estate sector.
29. Next question,
That's
29.
already ongoing. Na?
Yeah, thanks. Good afternoon, ma'am. Sapna Das here from CNBC TV 18. You've also created a lot of buzz with your new divestment target of 2110 lakh crore estimated for FY21. Ma'am, you've clearly mentioned that, out of this amount, around 90,000 crores is what you're looking at via sale of stake in public sector banks and financial institutions. Could you please explain that to us? And also IDBI, sir.
So the target which has been specified, FM has already mentioned it during the budget speech. It is essentially to come from the listing of the LIC and also from the IDBI at this stage. Yes.
And
So that listing will decide the valuations. We will work on this.
Next
and
question
it's
from
essentially these two.
53. Yes, 53.
Sir, this is Mukesh Kaushik from Dainik Bhaskar. Ma'am, I want to have clarity on defense budget, how much this time has been allocated and what is the percentage increase, what is the capital budget for this, and what is the amount allocated to Indian Air Force, Army and Navy specifically?
I think all these details will be provided in the documents. So if there is any clarification on that, you can. Otherwise, PIB press release is providing all the details and data about the different heads. We can take next question number from 8.
Ma'am, this is Ruchi Bhatia from ET Now. Congratulations on the budget. I want to ask you about the massive 2.1 lakh crore target that has been set out in the budget for disinvestment proceeds. Many say this is a very stiff target. How will the Department A look to achieve this target? Because we've seen a massive shortfall in this year. So A, on the target, and you've also spoken about a tax charter that the tax department will bring in. What will the tax charter really entail, just to understand that?
I'm glad you asked that question. I was a bit worried that on a measure like a tax charter, and in spite of me mentioning it in 2 different places in my speech, not a person has asked me any question. I'm so glad you asked. That's a very major step. Other than us going around the country to tell tax administrators to ensure that face-to-face engagement with the taxpayers need not necessarily be there, to ensure that they are dealing with them more like wealth creators, and to make sure that they would approach them only to gather information. In spite of all this, you would still hear some comments occasionally about no.
तो सीधासलख आप देखुले केन्द्र अर्थमंत्री निर्मला सीतारमण प्रेस मीट सांबादिकों प्रश्न उत्तर देते धनंजय बांठी आम सहित अच्छा अर्थनैतिक विशेषज्ञ फाइनान्शियल एक्सपर्ट जो 5 ट्रिलियन अर्थनीतिर स्वप्न को साकार करने मांदावस्था बुस्ट करने जो स्वप्न देखा जाऊला आशा करा कि गोटे बड़ घोषणा करेंगे केन्द्र सरकार किंतु यह सहित आउ गोटे स्वप्न था 2024 सुधा देश में बसवास करुवा समस्त को घर मिल घर स्वप्न किंतु रियल एस्टेट क्षेत्र में से कौन घोषणा करा जाए ना
ओके बेसिकली जो रियल एस्टेट स्पेसिफिक अनाउंसमेंट आमर प्री बजेट रे भी से गोटे प्रोविजन गवर्नमेंट गोटे क्रिएट करते जहाँ भितर कि जो प्रॉपर्टीटा वर्तमान क्लोजर फेज रे अच्छी किंतु जहाँ जगह जो कैश सप्लाई सर्टेज से क्लोज हो पारनी तापे स्पेशल फंडिंग गोटे प्रोविजन क्रिएट कराई तो बेसिकली कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर और रियल एस्टेट ए पर्टिकुलर बजेट पूर्वर इन द मंथ ऑफ सेप्टेम्बर ऑलरेडी आम कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर आपंकर जो टैक्सेसन रेटा 22% लागू कम कर देता सेकेंड है आपंकर हाउसिंग सेक्टर ऑलरेडी अनाउंसमेंट होता प्री बजेट तो एक्सपेक्टेशन रखिया कि बजेट रे आउ किछि अनाउंसमेंट हेल्प करि परिबे पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर ताकू गोटे क्वेश्चन मार्क थला सेही जिंसोटा सेम से मेंशन करछन तांको प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस रे सेकंड हला विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू गोटे रिटेल इन्वेस्टर आमे जानछु कि गोटे रिटेल इन्वेस्टर जितले गोटे बजेट को देखे एज अ यूनियन बजेट फ्रॉम ए रिटेल इन्वेस्टर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जाए कि बजेट रे सबु क्षेत्र रे गोटे गोटे किछि ना किछि इन्फॉर्मेशन थाउ किंतु ए जो दीटा जिंसोटा मिसिंग हला गोटे हला आपनकर रियल एस्टेट ऊपर किछि क्लैरिटी देनांती बेसी और सेकंड हला डिफेंस सेक्टर ऊपर से माने करचंती कि से एंटायर जिंसोटा से माने जो आज इवनिंग जो सर्कुलर मार्क करिवे ता भितर से स्पेसिफिकली हाईलाइट करिवे तो ए पर्टिकुलर बजेट रे अपन देखिबे बेसी टेक्निकली अपन लास्ट 5 इयर्स या लास्ट 4 इयर्स बजेट देखंतु गोट डिफेंस गोटे मेजर सोर्स ऑफ डिबेट थाए किंतु ए पर्टिकुलर बजेट रे से जिंसोटा मिसिंग अछि मे बी से माने ताको ऑन रिकॉर्ड करना
मे भी क्लियर हे परिबो जे
आउट कथा एबे निर्मला सीतारामन कहिले जे जटिलता दूर हिची सरलीकरण करा जायछि इनकम टैक्स स्लैब को प्रकृत में जो होम लोन रो फायदा नाही नुआ स्लैब रे नाही केतुडे आहुरी जटिलता बढ़ी जे नुआ आइदर नुआ नबे न पुराना फायदा नुआ रे जो फायदा पुराना अछि नुआ रे सेटा मिलिबो नै तो एथरो आपण अनुमान करछन्ती कि जो 80C कथा को जाउतला से आ मिलिबो नै नुआ स्लैब रे मिलिबो नै